Testament. Psalm 63. Psalm of David where he was in the ordinance of the Torah. O God, you are my God, I seek you, my soul's never speak. My flesh faints for you, as in the dry and barren land, where there is no water. So I have looked upon you, the sanctuary, according to power and glory, because your steadfast love is better than life. My lips will praise you, sound bless you as long as I live. I will hold up my hands and call on your name. My soul is satisfied as with a was raised, and my mouth praises you with joyful lips. When I think of you on the bed, meditate on you in the watches of night. For you have been my help, and the shadow of your wings I'll sing you. My soul clings to you. Your right holds up to me.
This next reading is Matthew 17:14-20. When they came to the crowd, a man came to him, knelt before him, and said, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is an epileptic, and he suffers terribly. He often falls into the fire and often into the water. And I brought him to your disciples, but they could not cure him. Jesus answered, You faithless and perverse generation, how much longer must I be with you? How much longer must I put up with you? Bring him here to me. And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him, and the boy was cured instantly. Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, Why could we not cast it out? He said to them, Because of your little faith. For truly I tell you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you.
This next reading is John 20, 23 through 29. 24 through 29. But Thomas, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, We have seen the Lord. But he said to them, Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands, and I put my finger in the mark of his nails, and my hand in his side, I will not believe. A week later, his disciples were again in the house, and Thomas was with them. Although the doors were shut, Jesus came and stood among them, and said, Peace be with you. Then he said to Thomas, Put your finger here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Do not doubt, but believe. Thomas answered him, My Lord and my God. Jesus said to him, Have you believed because you have not seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet come to believe.
Unexpected happiness. What is unexpected happiness? If I had to define unexpected happiness, I would say it's a moment when you become rushed with the feeling of happiness, when when you at least expect it. Let's talk about some instances of unexpected happiness. It's when you don't have to pay your taxes. Or when your teacher who teaches an AP class doesn't give you homework on Friday night. Or when the person you've liked for years finally becomes your significant other. Unexpected happiness is something that I feel I take for granted. Recently, CYF went on retreat to a place that we will now call our retreat home. While on retreat, I found myself filled with stress, negative thoughts, and self-doubt. Then one night, we played a game. While playing the game, someone buried into my heart said Cian Corby when he meant to say Sean Connery. And we all just did what you guys did. My worries and thoughts had drifted away. That's when I realized unexpected happiness was something that I should cherish for my whole entire life. That night, as I laid awake in my bed around 2 a.m. in the morning, I played back memories of unexpected happiness. There are two of them that stuck with me, and I would like to share them with you. During my 9th grade year, I spent a lot of time in and out of the psychiatric ward. Life had become a routine filled with self-esteem problems, depression, anxiety attacks, and much more. One day on work trip in New York, I thought my life was going to go back to that, and I would have to go to the hospital once again. Then, at that exact moment, I woke up from my hazy negativity when I saw a family that consisted of 2 women and a small child. They looked as if life had never been bad, as if life was absolutely perfect. At that moment, I realized that no matter what happened, I would be okay. I was given unexpected happiness. Another memory I had flashback was when my Chinese water lizard died. For weeks, I had been very upset, until one day my mom took me to a pet store, and there was a lizard. He was a rescue, and when I first laid my eyes on him, I fell in love. At that moment, I was given unexpected happiness. Looking back on it now, I realized that those are the moments that I will cherish the most. I wish upon all of you some unexpected happiness when you need it and even when you don't. Accept the unexpected happiness and cherish it with all your heart.
It is very easy to look around in today's modern, fast-paced world and feel lost. It seems as if every aspect of our lives is touched by the anxiety of a deadline, an argument with a family member, or the addictive pinging of a smartphone. Because of external obligations, it can be difficult to remember to take care of ourselves, whether it is mental health, physical health, or spiritual health. Something that often gets pushed to the side for many people is their commitment to their spiritual well-being. This doesn't have to be purely organized religion. It is also your morals, values, beliefs, altruism, and compassion toward yourself and others. As a senior in high school, it seems as if everything is hitting me at once. Babysitting jobs, a massive homework load, club responsibilities, college applications, and more. I often forget to sit and think and take time to develop myself past the things that fill up my calendar. One of the ways I do this is by coming to church. This is my faith journey. Being part of many different communities within Christian Temple has provided me a connection to the congregation, God, and my own spiritual beliefs. I have been coming to Christian Temple since I was 3 years old. I grew up with children's choir rehearsals, Christmas pageants, and snack time during children in worship. I felt like a part of the congregation, but I wasn't officially one until 6th grade. I remember being jealous of the older kids who could have communion and sit in church like an adult, and I was so excited to begin my disciples classes. Every child in our church who so desires has the opportunity to become a member of Christian Temple in 6th grade. This entails a few months of classes culminating in baptism. This was my first community that I joined at Christian Temple, that of member in general. Along with my mentor, Barbara Cheadle, I learned about the history of the Disciples of Christ denomination, the work that goes into making a typical Sunday run smoothly, the ins and outs of what I believe, and why communion is so much more than free food. My knowledge of the Bible, like many other kids, had consisted of an illustrated children's Bible and weekly Sunday school. After my disciples classes, I gained a newfound interest in my spiritual ideas, and I began a faith journey that I knew would last for the rest of my life. The second community that I joined at Christian Temple was the youth groups. When I was younger, I saw the Cairo and CYF kids as an unattainable cool, and I never thought that I would ever be a part of it. When I became a Cairo member, I was scared that no one would like me, and I didn't come out of my shell and get over my fears until I went to Bethany Beach for the first time in 7th grade. After that, I was devoted to youth group and to the support and love that I received. In 8th grade, I even went to Camp Merrimack. Although I was a bit slow on the uptake as far as camp goes, and this was the only year I had ever been able to go to church camp, I will never forget the experiences that I had and the people that I met. I was sad to leave Cairo, but I found just as incredible a group in the Christian Temple CYF. In CYF, I didn't just find a group of people who were as crazy as me. I also found a family who accepts me for who I am, works together to make amazing things happen, and thinks deeply about religion. CYF meetings, retreats, and work trips are times when I can let go of my stressors and hectic schedule and truly relax. I have made some of the best memories of my life so far with my CYF friends. From affirmation circles to Cards Against Humanity games, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to work trip songs, I have become close to people I never would have gotten close to otherwise. By joining this faith community within Christian Temple, I've gotten to learn more about myself. Being part of a supportive group like this creates stronger leaders, thinkers, and doers. Without CYF, I would not have the devotion for service, participation in church, and love for God that I now have. As a senior, I am leaving the group at the end of this year to go to college. All I can say is that I hope that this spirit of love, family, and charity persists forever in this group and in each of its members throughout their lives. I became a member of the last faith community that I'm a part of at this moment very recently. After singing in church around Christmas time, I was invited to join the choir. This was completely unexpected and has changed me, no matter how cheesy that sounds. I have always loved to listen to the choir sing in church because, as I'm sure you all know, we have one of the best church choirs that I have ever heard. I was nervous, again, because I'm the youngest person and I didn't want to mess anyone up. Every ounce of intimidation vanished when I came to church for my first Thursday night rehearsal. I was immediately welcomed into the group, and it felt to me like I had found another home at Christian Temple. Every time choir members see each other, the smiling and chatting and singing that occurs can brighten anyone's day. The prayer at the end of every rehearsal touches all of us because we provide the requests for prayer. On a personal level, my time singing with the choir so far has enriched my spiritual journey. There is nothing to explain the feeling of being in church, singing an anthem with your eyes and heart turned toward God. The only way I can describe it is that my heart feels warm and full and happy. Thursday nights are busy for me. I have musical rehearsal after school, then art class, then straight to choir, and I usually don't start my homework until 9:30 p.m. But it is all worth it because I have found another home, a place where I can let anything go. Any anxiety and sadness I'm feeling vanishes once I enter this sanctuary. That's why they call it that, a sanctuary. The dictionary defines the word sanctuary as a place of refuge or safety, a holy place, a temple, or a church. All three of these interpretations can be attributed to Christian Temple. It is a place of refuge or safety for anyone suffering from problems that they cannot seem to find an outlet for. It is a place where people can be themselves and love each other and lift their voices to heaven without judgment. It is a place filled with the Holy Spirit, and simply put, it is a church. Not just the building itself or the pews or the offering plate. A church is its people. The congregation is the church. That is why I hope that all of you have a community of faith, now and forever, somewhere. It can be anything. Simply sitting in church on Sunday, making casseroles for the homeless shelter, reading your Bible at home, being a part of a youth group, or standing up here speaking from your heart about what you believe and what matters to you. Some people will go their entire lives without feeling spiritual contentment and find themselves lost in the daily grind. It doesn't matter if you are a Muslim, a Jew, a Christian, an atheist, a devout follower, or an agnostic, a child, a teen, or an adult, alone or surrounded by a community. All that matters is that you nurture your inner health, your spiritual health, in some way. It is through doing this that you will find peace in your life. Thank you. Now we will sing our hymn.